Hey everyone, welcome back to another video with Ricky the RBT, but I'm currently a BCBA. In today's video, we will be discussing some things to consider as you search for your future graduate program. So those things are cost, whether or not your program has a verified course sequence or not, the first time passing rate, whether or not that program is hybrid, traditional, or online, the length of the program, and the application requirements for your future program. So let's jump into it. First things first, cost. We want to know how much the program is going to cost. How much is it per credit hour? Money, everything that's surrounding money, right? We want to know how affordable it is. Do we have to take out a loan or are we paying out of pocket? Are we able to afford it if we're paying out of pocket? If we need to reach out to FAFSA and get some financial aid, then we need to do that. But we need to know how much it's going to cost, how much is it per credit hour, and how much is the program going to cost in total. The next thing is, does your program have a verified course sequence? That verified course sequence should be approved by the ABAI, the Association for Behavior Analysis International. They have a directory that I'll leave a link for in the description for this video, but you will want to check that directory just to make sure that the graduate program that you're looking for, it is verified by the ABAI. If not, when you submit your documentation to the BACB to ask them to sit for the exam, they'll deny your application because the graduate program that you went through the coursework for, it was not verified by the Association for Behavior Analysis International, the ABAI. All right, so again, check the description. I have the link there. You can check there to see if the program that you're thinking about attending is verified by them. The first time passing rate. So the significance of this is so you get an idea of how successful the program was in preparing their learners to sit for the board exam. Now, everything that you learn in your graduate program shouldn't revolve around sitting for the board exam, but this is a good indicator of how prepared those learners were when they sat for the board exam. So this information you can find on the Behavior Analyst Certification Board's website, the BACB's website, right? So you can go check the description for this video. I have the link down there. You click that link, it'll take you to the website. You look at, we're in 2022 now, so they should probably have 2020 and 2021's passing rates on there. And so you look at those passing rates, you look for the school that you're thinking about going to, so you can see how prepared those learners were when they sat for the board exam for the first time. And again, your graduate program shouldn't just prepare you for the board exam, they should prepare you for what you're going to be doing as a behavior analyst and everything that encompasses being a behavior analyst. But the next thing to consider is whether or not your prospective graduate program is a hybrid program, a traditional program, or an online program. Or before you actually start looking into different graduate programs, you kind of ask yourself, are you looking for a hybrid program? Do you want a little bit of traditional and online? Do you want a fully online program, or do you want a fully traditional program where you're on campus, sitting in the class amongst your other peers? Another thing to consider is the length of the program. So with some schools, you have an accelerated program. With other schools, you have a 2-year program. It's totally up to you. Do you have the flexibility? Do you have the time to dedicate to a 2-year program? Or are you on a time constraint and you need this right now? So you kind of do an accelerated program. So the last thing I'll mention is the application requirements for your program, right? So do you need a GRE score? Do you need to create a curriculum vitae? Do you need to create and send in a personal statement, right? Do you need letters of recommendation? These will all be specified on the website for the prospective graduate program that you're looking into, right? But you want to make sure that you're taking a look at those and you're making sure that you're able to meet the application requirements for that particular school and that particular program. So some determining factors for me were the cost of the programs, the length of the program, the passing rate for that program, and whether or not it was a hybrid, traditional, or online program. So my first determining factor was cost. I knew that I was coming out of pocket to pay for graduate school. I already had student loans from undergrad, so I didn't want to reach out to financial aid again to take out more student loans. So I wanted to make sure that the program was affordable. And so all the schools that were prospects for me, I was paying close attention to how much they cost. And so I went for the cheapest option, but also the best option to my standards. So the second determining factor for me was time. I had more than enough time. There was no time constraints for me. I didn't want to rush the process. So I was not looking for an accelerated program. I wanted a full 2-year program where I can really learn as much as I can about applied behavior analysis. Not to say that you can't learn as much in an accelerated program, but that was my reasoning why I wanted to do a 2-year program, is I wanted to learn as much as I can. And then I also wanted to learn what it took to become or to be a behavior analyst. And so I really was looking for a 2-year program. I wanted the traditional style, but I was not able to find a traditional program that was in my immediate area. Passing rate. So the passing rate, I had to go to the Behavior Analyst Certification Board's website. And again, I'll leave that link in the description, but I had to go to their website to kind of see what the passing rates were for the different programs that I was looking at. And so my passing criteria when I was looking at a prospective graduate program was at least 59%, right? As I was even looking at the different passing rates for the different programs, the range was super wide, right? There was no real consistency that I can see when I was looking at it at the time. And so my standards weren't very high where I was looking for a school to have an 80% or higher or 90% or higher. There were schools that did have that, but they were out of my price range, right? So I couldn't afford those schools, but it made sense why they had such high passing rates. Not because they cost more, but maybe there were just other factors that kind of played into it as to why their passing rates were so high. And so with the schools that I was looking at, my criteria was at least 59%. Anything below that, I was not looking to attend those programs and pay my money to be a graduate of those programs. The last determining factor for me was whether or not the program was hybrid, traditional, or online. So I was looking for a full-time program. I wanted it to be traditional, but again, there were no programs in my immediate area except for the Florida Institute of Technology, but they're out of my price range. So I went with the University of West Florida, where they were affordable. Their passing rate was okay, and I was perfectly fine with that. And I asked around and I got some really good reviews. And so that's why I chose West Florida based on those 4 determining factors. So I hope this video was helpful. If you took any notes while you were watching this video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time that I post a video. For my current people in a graduate program, tell me some of the things that you considered. For my people that are looking for a graduate program, what are some things that you're considering? What are some of your determining factors? And until next time, I'm out. Peace.